So, okay, here's where it gets a little tricky. Just, just bear with me. We're starting in the C shape. We went to a shadow on the BMDK where we can play a nice pentatonic. The BMDK, which is diatonic, we're going to play a G shape. It's fifth, so it's kind of a white lie because it's oh, these are the same. These are just three shapes. We don't have to do the A shape and the D shape. We're just doing the C shape, but we're not going to play that G shape in pentatonic. It's going to be diatonic. And this E shape, which is from the RMBK, is also going to be diatonic. So this is teaching us the lesson. This is the place in the lesson where we're going to nail down the problem between a diatonic and a pentatonic scale. So right here, when we do our C7, right there, thank you. You know, okay, like that. We're going to play diatonic on that. So go. Let's make sure that's going right there. That G shape. Let's look. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. That G shape is a diatonic scale. We're not going to start that G shape from one here. We're going to actually start it from the same place. So instead of going like this, which is what I did, we're going to start one up because this is diatonic, meaning we've got the lone wolf 7. So let's look at the next chart for that, or let's find the proper chart for that. All right, I put the guitar down for a second. Yeah, I'm just going to play piano. No, we're going to look at the chart. So what we have here, the root key of the blues, we have our C7 in the first cage. Here's our RKB 5th in the BMDK, but remember, this RKB 5 here, it jumped ahead, right here. The RKB 5th right here is the G shape. And this is I'm sorry that this is a little more difficult, a little stipulation here. You got to watch your P's and Q's with these things. This is the G shape pentatonic, but the G shape diatonic includes this 7, which means this lone wolf 7 is included in the entire RKB 5th shape. Therefore, we start the scale from the 3rd up instead of the 2nd. We start the actual cage from a whole step up, but we start the scale from the 3rd. So here we go. We can still consider this the G shape. So it was a little more difficult. There's two things you got to remember. Are you playing it diatonically? Are you playing it pentatonically? Pentatonic would be in the Bluesmaster pent key row. And where are your diatonic shapes? It's hard to see that the lone wolf 7 of the BMDK is the 6th of the RBK. So in other words, that A, if we're in the key of C, is the 7th of B flat. It's the 6th of the RBK, key of the blues, RKB. So that would be that 6 right here. We're going to start it on the 5. Okay, so the 5th of the RKB is the 6th of the Blues Magic diatonic key, and we're going to play a G shape off the 6th. So let's try that again. For that, it's essentially the same. Essentially, we're going to just use these three shapes, even, and see what becomes of it. So we've got. G shape. Whoa, my vibrato really kind of buzzed out on that. So that would be the G shape there. We could also play the C shape in the pentatonic. Then we'll go back to that G shape. Can go between the two. Okay, so that was in between the BMPK shadowed, perfectly shadowed C shape and the G shape right there. We could also do the E shape. Now, where does that first start? It's interesting. We can do it right there in the root cage there. So let's see how that works. Now it's diatonic. We know the blues key is on, blues note is on the first, but we also know that we can play 3 strings up and get some extra notes. Let's look at that right now. So let's look at that RMBK, okay, or the RMDK, root mixolydian diatonic key. We've got our blues note on the bottom there, 7 root 2, and that we can also go just 3 strings above it on those diatonic keys and play all 3 of those. We can even do that in the pent key, but we get 2 perks on top in the pent key because remember, it's easier to add. You can add more notes to a pent scale than you can add to a diatonic scale. So what notes are those that we're going to be adding? Of course, it would be the flatted 5th on the blues note string shape. Okay, so the flatted 2nd of the 4th of the blues magic key is the flatted 5th of the root key. We could also add in this note here, which becomes the natural 7th. And we can also add this note here, which becomes the flatted 3rd. So remember, the root master blues key or diatonic key is really just the 5th of the blues master key, magic key. It's really an F scale. Okay, so in the C blues, we can add more notes to that. We can add a blues note to that in the blues master diatonic scale, magic diatonic scale. Okay, we've already got 2 of the blues notes, so what we're adding on the bottom strings are anti-blues notes there, the 3rd and the 7th. Okay. I don't know if we get the 6th there. The 6th is actually part of the scale. Okay. Remember we talked about that? The 6th of the RKB is the 7th of the BMDK. We've got it. Alright, so we've got also the RMBK or DK. Look at that, I've actually put a D there. That's total Floridian slip. And the one thing about Sigmund Freud that I figured out, just like some people like to say, hey, Einstein wasn't right about something, right? He wasn't right about quantum entanglement or something like that. But, you know, it was his work that led the way. The Sigmund Freud, I don't know if he was right about his dream interpretations. I'm probably going to cut this out because I feel that it took the patient back into the problem, back into All right, let's get past the Freudian slip here. RMDK and RMBK are the same thing. It certainly is a diatonic key, so it should be called the RMDK. So that's what we can do. We can play the the E scale there, okay, in the root box, and I'm pointing at the screen. Forget that note, just all right. So yeah, we're not gonna play the flatted sixth, not in the blues, unless we want to do like a fourth on it. Okay, that'd be your flatted sixth. That's when we start getting into total modulation of the blues. We can do that. It can be done, but for the most part, we're concerned with keeping track of where that tritone is on the root key of the blues, because that's our anchor for where we're going to add notes from on strings. So let's move ahead. Let's kind of change this up. So you can do it in the RMBK. It's a diatonic key, but what I'm saying in this particular fretboard is so you can use the 3 shapes, you can even use the 2 shapes. You don't even need the RMBK. You can do the whole thing, cover all bases with just the 2 keys. The root master diatonic key and the blues master pent key, rather. And you can do it with the root key of the blues too, obviously, it covers everything. All right, so, but we don't show that because C would go to A here. We'd see an A shape right there. We don't have to. So this is what I'm saying. This is a shadowing, a 3 shape shadowing, and you can go up and do the whole thing in those particular keys. So let's move forward because we have to cover things today. Up to 585. 583 root master, all in one fretboard, 3 shape shadowing, same thing. I think we were talking about that. Here we see coming through the woodwork, we see our 7 different types of blues. Here's the mode degree or the LPN starting. We have 3, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, or root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but we don't have all 12, and that's what I went ahead and did, all 12, just to be thorough. And if we advance, so this is pretty much the same thing. We were probably talking about